double ultimate as well. But another thing that I like to see here is Seiza gets that Lady Sun.
Yeah, Seiza getting the Lady Sun is one of his most played picks this year. We saw it a lot in the HoK BR as well. Obviously, VivoKid being the 2 times HoK BR champions, being the Season 1 Invitational champions. Can they go one step further in this tournament as we go into the game?
We can only hope so for our Brazilian region going against the Malaysian region. The only time these two teams have played against each other was in the group stages, so it's no longer the first time that we're going to actually be seeing them play against each other on the stage, but it's going to be a marathon. Like Kin said, it's no longer about that sprint. Let's get our top picks. Let's just smash them in one round.
Yeah, I feel like for LGD, this is going to be really, really huge for them. This Orgren jungle pick for Musang King was one of the main reasons why LGD Gaming beat VivoKid in the group stage. That was a 9-minute win in the group stage. So VKS definitely need to kind of adapt, but I feel like they've just been growing throughout the tournament. You know, maybe the group stage didn't really suit them with the best of 1 format, but when it comes to these best of 3s and best of 5s, this is their time to shine.
Absolutely. I mean, even if they don't win game 1, it doesn't mean that they're going to be out of the competition just yet. They still have potential of 4 rounds to go from that point. But I feel like if they are going to get any kind of victory in this one, you're going to be trying to see if they can get to that late game potential for VKS, because there is quite a lot of late game on their roster right now. You've got the Lady Sun that we're going to only see activate once she gets that itemization through. But Princess Frost is just going to be ready when she gets to that level 4.
Yeah, I think the big thing as well is that with the U1 is actually one of the quickest, as you mentioned, jungle clears in the game, with Orgren as well also being very, very quick. So it doesn't really give Musang King that much time to invade, because by the time he invades, the whole jungle's already gone. So it's really down to when it comes to the ganks with these 2 junglers as well. We know the crowd control that the U1 can bring. And it's all about Orgren to see if he can look for the flanks and try and look for that crazy amount of sustained damage that he can bring.
Yeah, it's definitely a less aggressive pick here for VKS. Danny, we've normally seen him on the likes of the Musashi, on the Luna as well, when the LGD last played against VKS. So going for the Hu1 makes it seem like Seiza and Niap are probably going to be the most aggressive in this team, because Hu1's just going to be there for utility, for just getting that heal in, the knockups as well, and then you're going to have Princess Frost to try and get that zone in, that nuke damage going off for the mid lane. Yeah,
I mean, VKS is definitely a team that likes to focus a lot of their gold on their farm lane carry, on Seiza, one of the players that has the most gold in all of their games. Making sure that you get all the gold on Lady Sun is going to be even more crucial.
Yeah, we don't like to see the utility farm lanes come through for Seiza. There is a bit of engage in here for LGD, trying to give some aggression. Not quite as well-timed as I thought it would be, because obviously the Tyrant is not yet up for another 55 seconds, but you can kind of see the mind games already coming in.
Yeah, the Purify coming in for Seiza as well, making sure that he doesn't get knocked up by the Liampo. Really, really smart choice by Mena and Seiza to both go for the Purify in the bot side, since there is so much crowd control on the side of LGD Gaming. You know, you have things like the knock-up from the Lady Shen, the knock-up from the Liampo as well.
Yes, plenty of knockups coming through onto the side of LGD, but I don't think that's going to stop VKS anytime now, because they are now going in for another engage. Liampo, we have the rotation from Musang King as well as Lady Shen with a knockup on 2-1. That is going to negate that try back in that farm lane against LGD.
First blood to Musang King, another one to add to his list for kills at the moment in this tournament. Incredible job for Musang King to be able to counter gank in the end. I think the big thing was Princess Frost was trying to get that priority in the bot side, but you can see how Orgren could just rotate so quickly throughout the game, just being able to go from camp to camp, go from lane to lane, and that's going to give LGD that small advantage early on.
And this is what that bot lane play was all setting up, was for that Tyrant. And it's now coming through, but VKS, Danny, looking like he's got the priority here. Orgren coming through. No, the smite comes in way more earlier for VKS. So Tyrant coming over to VKS means there's a lot of damage coming through into this next team fight. Orgren trying to take down Niap here, trying to put a little bit of pressure onto their clash lane. Mayin, as you can see, from the far left, the stun come through. Here comes a seismic smash from Liampo, but there is no follow-up from LGD.
Oh, it's so extremely close. I thought Musang King was going to get caught. Really nice stun there by one in the end on Princess Frost, doing an incredible job. But oh, it's actually the jungler Danny being caught out, but it might be traded back here. But Mayeen has so much mobility, using the flash to escape as well. Danny being caught completely off guard in the jungle.
Yeah, I was giving highlight to Mayeen. You could see her just lingering on the Azure Golem side. You know what was about to happen there. Just trying to just clean up anything, any of the leftovers from that last team fight. We saw that no kills were given over to the side of LGD for VKS, but they were very low.
Yeah, extremely low, and it was all down to that mid lane fight. You know, as you mentioned, with VKS taking that Tyrant, they wanted to try and force a team fight with the extra damage you're able to get with the Tyrant, but the Amp might be completely caught out as well in the top side of the map. The burst damage from Long in the end. Support getting the kill, which is not always great, but it is going to secure them a tower in our top sides.
Yeah, a life for a life, but then they also get a tower on the Clash lane. They're able to pick one up for themselves in that farm lane. So again, we're seeing that VKS are already trying to dominate the map a little bit more than getting those kills. As we can see, they haven't quite yet to get a kill on the board. Maybe it's the objective game that they're looking for. I
really like kind of this split map that LGD Gaming are doing right now. They're realizing that maybe the Lady Sun can do a lot of damage to the Long in the early game. So rotating the Long and the Liam Poe to the top side, completely catching out the app on guard, just gives JR a lot more solo gold. They actually took 2 towers in that Clash lane as well, so just showing how much damage you can do with Long.
Yep, T2 down in the 6th minute as well. We saw a nice untargetable come from Danny there, because that could have been a huge engage from Jia on the side of LGD. Speaking of engages here though, Musang King and the Lady Sun are very close nearby, and we're already seeing that macro play come from Xiang on LGD. They get the T1 down into the farm lane as well.
Oh,
Untargetable comes through.
Yeah, Untargetable comes through, and maybe the stun's going to be enough as well, but no, the ability in the end from the HoK, but here comes Cavalry for LGD. The Ogryn going to try his best to try and kill out Danny, but it is going to go down. The Dolia tried to reset the HoK ultimate, but didn't come up in time.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for VKS. I feel like LGD just know how to sort of move around as a team. And we're already seeing the Lone Ranger that is Xiang. He's always just in the enemy jungle, just kind of just waiting for the time to strike. But at that same time, he's just trying to push the T2 into the farm lane, because if those 2 T2s go on those side lanes, that's just the same amount as pressure as losing your T1 in the mid lane. Yeah,
for sure. I feel like in general, LGD having 3 towers being taken at the moment is really a big sign for their gold lead right now, and you can see they've got a lot of confidence that they're trying to invade in the jungle.
Yes, not quite getting that Azure Golem for themselves, LGD Gaming, but it goes over to VKS, which is huge for Danny's hero right now. He needs that mana, and if he lost that Azure Golem, it would have been a troublesome 60 seconds for him until the next one came up. Mayeen, again, just still macro plays from Xiang. We normally see it from JR.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that VKS are really trying their best to try and defend this mid lane tower, and they're giving up so much pressure in the split sides of the map.
Yes, and again, the T1 falls. This is just true LGD fashion, just dominating that map. And look at the goal difference, Stu. We're going into the 8th minute here, and they're up by 5.4K.
Yeah, I love the split pushing by LGD in this game. I feel like they've done extremely well. As I mentioned, that split map that they were able to do, getting JR into the top side, being able to take both the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower. You can see also Long going back into that Clash lane, creating pressure. I think Vivo Keys at the moment are so grouped that they're not respecting the split pushing coming in from LGD.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a tunnel vision coming through here. We see that Danny's trying to get another kill onto Xiang, but that is just to keep that Mayeen alive. But we have Maina, we have Caesar here as well, but the rest of the boys from LGD are going in. There is Xiang picking up the kill onto Maina. Down goes Xiang, though. That is a 1-1 trade, 2-1 trade for LGD, sorry. That is a lot of combat going on right now on this map, and we're getting to that 9-minute mark, which is where VKS lost before. JR completely wiping out that Clash lane.
Triple kill in the end for Musang King. They're going to try and look to finish this game in the same time that they were able to in the group stage. 9 minutes and 30 seconds. LGD draw first blood in this best-of-5 semi-final.
Yes, LGD Gaming manages to get that first blood this time around, and the first victory in this best-of-5. Even though they managed to win that sprint in the group series, LGD Gaming are definitely in this marathon.
Incredible game for them. As I mentioned, pretty much the same time as what it was in the group stage as well. So they're kind of running it back with a similar composition, a very similar plan as well in this game. It was a little bit different in terms of in the group stage, they were doing a lot of invading. In this game, the early game was very back and forth. But again, the split pushing that they were able to do to get the tier 2 towers on both the clash lane and the farm lane was such a huge credit to them.
Yes, and we're going to be passing it back to the studio to get their thoughts on this game 1.
Congratulations to LGD Gaming on taking that first victory. 9 minutes. That was a very quick one. I'm so sorry, but I was not expecting so short a match.
Yeah, I feel like LGD definitely did it this time. I mean, almost feel like deja vu. Like the first match they did in the group stage, ending the game around 9 minutes, even 10 minutes. Also, the early game strategy is so cool. Using the all ground in the early game to provide the CD. And they're on the red side here. So closing it in with a CD closer to the Tyrant, but the CD is going to be on the blue buff side. So I feel like all ground is definitely having more CDs in the beginning.
Oh, for sure. And this really sets the tone of the match, right? So like you said, with this additional cooldown, they're able to go for more objectives. One thing that they really did well was protect the jungle. So there were no camps that were stolen, right? And you can see how that translates into the gold graph from the 3rd minute onwards. It was just a gold mine for them.
No, that's the main idea, right? Like they're so aggressive in the first 2 minutes of the game that then after that there's no way for Vivo Kid starts to turn things around. They did not have any gold. They had the Yuhan, they had the Dole, but that was not enough. That wasn't sufficient.
Yes. Also, I want to emphasize on Mai on the top lane. Great strategy. I mean, they did a split pushing, and that was a 1-4 strategy that LGD Gaming was really, really good at. And you can take a look at the match scoreboard here and looking at Mai using that 3-1-2 here, KDA. Great job avoiding those damage on the top side of the map.
Yep, and also the benefit of having the blue buff closer to your Tyrant is the fact that when they put attention onto Xiang's lane, right, the response has to come from VKS, where they have to defend the top. And this opens up the doors for them to farm on the bot lane, get the kills as well. And when Niap on that Byron, when he's effectively lesser in power, right, not as useful, that's where the advantage comes in for the side of LGD.
Like we knew since the beginning that it was going to be LGD Gaming being a lot more aggressive. Like we talked about how BKS was aggressive, so LGD Gaming just decided, if you're going to come throwing punches, I'm going to punch you first.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like LGD is like dictating the pace of the game by themselves. If VKS has to come back, they have to think outside the box. They have to think of something like an orthodox way to play the game in order to win.
Yep, unorthodox strategies. I mean, okay, so this draft, pretty meta still, right? So I'm expecting something very different from VKS in the next game. But for now, if you take a look at what LGD has been doing, you give them the lead, they will bite you and will not let you go, similar to a Pitbull's bite as well.
Exactly.
And if you take a look at the itemization, you know, we were quite surprised. JR got the Eternity Blade at 6 minutes. That's a furiously fast critical item masking.
Also, like, you know, Lady Jun, Zhihong got the Venons fast, also early as possible, and that just completely just shut down the game for VKS.
Yep, and you know, they had a lot of heals, and they also lessened the healing factors on the side of VKS. And I think it was just a very well-rounded draft, but even better execution from the side of LGD.
VKS right now down 1-0 in this best of 5. Like they need to turn things around because at 2-0, that would be too much for them to come back from.
Yeah, it is a marathon, but they want to turn it into a sprint. And LGD, the MVP of Game 1, was responsible for this blitz that VKS could not handle.
Yes, and that's going to be Musan King with the MVP. KDA 502. Great job. Great chances using this hero in the very, very beginning. Also, I feel like he could have went for a counter jungle, but he choose to play the safer way, starting as his own jungle.
Yep, they definitely dropped the Durian onto the side of VKS, right? Musan King, one of the biggest brands of Durian.
Of course.
It's full of spikes. And when it hits you on the head unexpectedly, you're going to bleed and you're going to die. So this was a game where Musan King was just out of contention, right? There was no way to kill him. I think at the 7-minute mark, he already had the Eye of Phoenix. There was very, very little that VKS could do.
That's why after that, like after the 6 minutes, it comes in and he gets a triple kill. Just directly finds the right moment just to proc his ability and take 3 kills immediately.
Also, he has the Blood Rage as well, so there's like nobody on the side of VKS can take him down. He was the main tank for the team. Also, he has the Eye of the Phoenix, as Kendofu mentioned. He's going to absorb more HPs as his HPs get lower.
Yep, if you take a look at the damage he has taken, 32,000 damage taken. This is complemented by Zhe, and you know, very apt that he was the one that we were interviewing. He took up 54,000 worth of damage, while the rest of the team laid in the pain. Zhihong, unexpectedly, I mean, 57.5k. That's a lot of damage with the Destructive Delusion flowing size.
It did pay out at the end, just keeping those secrets from Zhe, right? Like he said that he didn't want to share anything, and they didn't have to share it at the end. They just showed it, put it out there on the table for everyone to see that they actually come here and they want to close this game 3-0.
Yeah, revenge is a dish best served cold, and boy was it cold from Zhihong with this Lady Zhen.
Yes, also I want to mention one thing about Zhihong. Zhihong's playing the Lady Zhen, a really nice utility mate, so he's pouring all these resources to his other teammates like Ogran, like the farms lane. So this Lady Zhen, I feel like is going to be another prominent pick for both sides later on in the game.
You know what, like right now that you talk about Ogren, I want to let everyone know at home that Ogren is available right now. If you do not have it, please go for it. A warrior hero with a great balance between offense and defense, which is able to condense the spirits of enemy heroes to assist our side in battle, possessing a special attack method. When in the activated Seer state, his basic attack can kill low health enemies instantly. So ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have that Ogren right now, please go and get it and start practicing.
That's right. Now, this is a hero you must have. I already have the hero. I think it was given away for free, so I think most people should have it. But having the hero and playing him well is a different story. So I think you can take a look at how LGD was using him to learn the best.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in a lot of ranked games, I'll always ban that Ogren. Super OP.
What about if we just take it to the Amazon Arena for a game 2?
Welcome back, everybody, at the Amazon Arena online. Wherever you are in the world, you are watching a battle between regions right now, and LGD Gaming are taking game point 1. Can VKS take number 2? Stu, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's back to the drawing board, really, for VKS. I feel like they still have a few pocket picks up their sleeves. They are going to decide to stay on this left-hand side for this draft. Their bans have changed. They have banned out the Dolia this time instead of the Mai, and that is going to actually go on the side of LGD. So one big pickup that is open and available in this one is going to be the Ali, but VKS now pick up the Ogren for themselves. This was a big pick in game number 1. We know how much Musang King has been performing on this, and it's going to be such a huge pick to see if VKS can come back in the series.
The Latino heat has been turned on here with the Ogren pick here, and I'm very excited for this. I honestly thought they were going to try and lock in either the Musashi or the Mai, but that gets banned away once more. And over to the side of LGD Gaming, we have Ali and Zhang Fei. So one of Mayna's top picks, Zhang Fei, going over once more to the side of LGD Gaming. But look at this! Whoa! VKS go for the Long and the Lady Jun. That is definitely a spicy turnaround.
I mean, it's just VKS taking what LGD won in game number 1. That's exactly what they're doing. They're like, okay, you won with this in game number 1. Let's try it for ourselves and see if we can also win as well. But I feel like the Ogren is such a huge pickup already. We know how powerful Lady Shen and Long has been in this meta right now, and LGD are going to be rounding out their composition with Princess Frost for the first phase. So that support priority for LGD Gaming means that they can ban out other supports like that Sunbin that we know Maynard's been performing very well on.
Yes, we are seeing seeing that they pick up Princess Frost on the side of LGD Gaming. So taking one of one's pick from last game over to themselves. So again, a lot of nuking, a lot of zone-in potential come through on this mid lane mage. They do ban out the Sunbin though, so maybe that was something that VKS was going to go for, was the Sunbin pick. They do ban out the Motsu as well, banning out Monkey on the side of VKS. So both being one of Danny picks and Musang King's pick.
Yeah, I think that for the side of VKS, they can actually go for a more utility support, since they already have kind of the front line of the Orgrun. They can also go for a frontline pick in the Clash lane as well. They can try and go for that. Interesting enough, they banned a lane for themselves, but again, it just gives Siang this Main pick, which again was such a huge factor in that first game with the split pushing that they were able to do with JR on the long and with also Main in the bot side of the map as well. So I think this is one thing that VKS need to adapt in this game. They need to be careful of the split pushing and kind of losing priority in these sides of the map.
Yes, it's all about keeping that eye on the Mayim, because like you were saying there, Stu, Siang's dominance around the map really dictated that last match against VKS. And it was pure, you just don't know where to look where this Siang was. He was either in the enemy jungle, he was either macro pushing down into the bot or the Clash lane. And it was just crazy how much control this player had for LGD Gaming, but they do go for the Taiyan, which has been paired with the Orgrun previously and gives so much more sustain, and then that locks in for Niap on the Dharma. That is such a good pick.
Oh, and the pay being hovered at the moment for Musang King. This is a bit of a throwback pick for Musang King. I remember the first game that we had of the Season 2 Invitationals with Musang King. LGD Gaming completely stomped in a few minutes, and Musang King on this pay was like 3 levels ahead, 5,000 gold ahead in like 5 or 6 minutes. It's definitely a pick that he feels comfortable on, but it's going to be super exciting, as you said, on the Cayenne.
Yes, the pay pick. I am not going to get my words all stumbled over each other. I am very much concentrating. Concentrating. Hey.
Come on, test it once. Test it once. Pay, play.
They are playing the pay.
There we go. We did it.
Musang King.
The final day, day 4, we got it in the bag. No more slacking.
Home, baby. I'm going home. But here we are getting into map 2 between VKS and LGD Gaming. Again, it is the Brazilian region going against the Malaysian region as well. So plenty of battles to be had here on this best of 5, but I'm looking a lot more confident for VKS in this draft. But on this pay, I did expect this level 1 invade, and it's already taken place on the VKS side.
This is exactly what LGD Gaming did in the Season 2 Invitational with this pick. Musang King invading with this pay. Such a powerful early game hero and has such incredible scaling as well. You have the range, you have the melees, but actually VKS are also trying to look to invade.
But it seems like a little bit of a bait here because they all rotated with finesse. There we are.
Oh, flash in.
Dharma doesn't quite have the skills yet, and Ollie gets the first blood. LGD Gaming JR gets first blood as well, and they're picking up another one, Stu. That is not quite it. It is 2-0 so far for LGD Gaming. They're not stopping there. It is another kill on the board.
Absolute disaster start for VKS. They tried to counter-invade. They knew that Musang King went down to the bot side. They tried to take that Crimson Golem, but they were able to rotate so quickly up until that top side, being able to defend their own invade, getting 3 kills for themselves as well. And this is not the start that VKS were looking for.
No, I think in game 1, it was still quite a while till we got to that 3-0 scoreboard for LGD Gaming, but they're not taking any sort of time here. They are like, hey, we got lunch to attend, we want food, we are going to get this job done quickly. We want to clock in, clock out, and then play the next game, whoever their next victor or victim will be. But just finesse here on the board for LGD Gaming.
And I think it's all to do with LGD also prioritizing the Ali and the Shengfei in the mid lane as well, being able to clear through that mid lane minion wave so quickly and able to rotate. Defend, as I mentioned, the top side of the map in terms of their jungle. is such a huge thing to be able to do for LGD, and then they just left Jinghong on the Princess Frost down to the bot side to make sure that there was no pressure happening down there. So overall incredible play again from LGD.
Oh yes, we saw that level 1 invade, we saw a counter invade that ended up going into a 3-0 thus far, but there we are, Zhang Fei with the unbridled rage coming through, Lung having to get out of there with that ultimate, because once you fly high, you cannot get
They're still
by.
going!
Hey comes in from behind here, it is going to be a takedown onto Tian, and the Lung once more, so a double kill going over to the mid lane. That is a lot of gold, baby.
I thought LGD Gaming were going to stop right there. As soon as Long's ultimate comes in and say, okay, I'm away to safety. No bothers here as well, but they kept on going. The rotations again from the mid laner and also Musang King as well. The mobility of this Pay Pig, being able to just jump around so quickly around the map as we take a look at this replay.
Yes, this STC replay was just highlighting the fact that they knew the destination of this Lung. They was like, we know where you're going to be landing, boy. We are the agency. They're going to find you and track you down, and that's what they did, getting another double kill there. Xiang almost got caught out by Danny, but is able to escape with a finesse. So we are getting into that 4-minute mark, Stu, where the Tyrant and the Overlord are getting available and spawning.
VKS can't get anything this game. They're trying so hard to look for surprises in the enemy jungle, in LGD Gaming's jungle, trying to look for picks that they can try and get, but they are finding nothing at the moment. And again, look at this. It's kind of the split pushing of creating pressure in the side lanes. Again, VKS not respecting the side lane pushes. Danny trying to jump in, but Zhang Fei is there to protect.
Yes, almost 3.6k gold up, and then more gold going over to LGD Gaming, just getting the kill up to Niap, and then Mina goes down as well. So another 2 kills going over to the support as well. It's across the board. The aggression on the side of LGD Gaming is crazy. They have got VKS like, please, sir, can I have some more for the resources?
All right, so difficult for VKS at the moment to even walk through their own jungle. LGD Gaming are everywhere this game. The Tyrant gets taken down. Their mid lane tower is potentially going to get taken down. One more auto attack actually needed for the early in the end, but not going to be able to do it. But look at the goal lead. 4,000 goal lead in 5 minutes in this game. Touching just clever rotations by LGD Gaming, just whether they're grouping up as 4, whether they're grouping up as 5, they know where to create pressure, and they understand the game so well. When VKS are on one side of the map, they create pressure on the other sides.
Yeah, when you go against a Titan like the LGD Gaming crew here, you can't hesitate, right? Because if you are hesitating, which is kind of like we see normally a very tamed early game, but they are just not letting up. The T1 going down in the mid lane. Maina once more going down as well. That is 8 kills on the board for LGD Gaming. Seiza maybe getting zoned
another one
here. Goes up to the sky. He is not quite retreating yet because we see Lady Sun and Lady Chen starting to come through. Ogren and Dharma looking to try and force a fight here. Musang King looking pretty low. Dharma going in. Is Niap going to get the kill? No. Princess Frost stops him, but JR, I am speechless, Stu. Going straight into their base to claim the kill onto Seiza.
This is pure domination from LGD Gaming. They just don't have a chance, VKS. I mean, again, it's VKS that just... They're not respecting LGD Gaming with how fast they can push down towers, with how quickly they can rotate around the map. VKS are just not keeping up with the tempo at the moment. The early game just went so wrong for them in terms of the invade, trying to get the extra trade-off in terms of the jungle camps, but nothing is working at the moment. The stun tries to come through there for Princess Frost. Mayin is just going to escape easily, maybe, with all her mobility. As you can see, so much mobility, being able to jump around, and maybe it's Danny now, the one caught out.
Yes, potential here for the T1 in the Clash lane to go down, and it is looking like that is a comfortable takedown into the Clash lane. VKS still not being able to take a single turret off of LGD Gaming, which is troublesome going into the semi-finals, this best of 5. They are already 2 maps in. We're seeing Jia going in from the back line. There is so much going on here. That is a 2-0 trade onto Niap, onto 1. We see Musang King get another kill, and that is a T2 turret takedown. They're chasing the Long. It is a long chase for the Dragon.
Dragon's going to be able to escape, but the Dragon's escaping on the opposite side of the map. LGD Gaming, a high ground tower at 7.5 minutes. We know that the record time at the moment for finishing a game in this tournament is 7 minutes and 40 seconds by the KPO Dream Team. Doesn't look like LGD are going to be getting that record in this tournament, but still, it's just pure domination, pure control over the map as well. And VKS, they only have one tower left standing in that bottom side.
I don't think we expected anything different when we saw that pay come through in the draft, right? And I mean, look at this, a gold graph, well, not gold graph, sorry, the equipment here, 205 is 6.5k gold. Danny's only on 4, so that's a 2.5k difference in the jungle alone. And it's just really showing here with how much damage Pei is doing, but Pei is an early game hero. But that's normally where VKS get their footing in, but Seiza goes down as well. We are getting the kill onto Niap. That is a 2-0 trade once more. They love their 2-0 trades. They are going for the no-death run on the side of LGD Gaming, and they're at the crystal. 8 minutes in, this is a quicker game 2. Stu, what is going on? VKS just not starting.
LGD Gaming, a flawless run in game number 2. Not a single death and not even a single tower takedown for VKS. They need to go back to the drawing board, and very quickly as well, because LGD are looking to speedrun and steamroll through this semi-final and go all the way into the grand final.
I mean, this is the second semi-finals that they've ever been to on the stage. Obviously, Season 2 Invitational, they got a solid 3-0 victory. They are looking to maintain that reputation for LGD Gaming. And honestly, I feel like this is a more brutal LGD Gaming than we saw from Season 2 Invitational.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, VKS in the meantime was a little bit difficult. They couldn't really go for the invades. But let's head back to the studio and see what the analysts think about that dominating win by LGD Gaming.
That was difficult to watch, man.
Yes.
That was tough. That was not an easy one, because LGD Gaming, from the pick and ban, since then they already just got the advantage. I did not understand exactly what was the plan with the Cayenne and Ogren pick over there from VKS, and that Pei last pick that they had from the other side was completely the key to victory.
I mean, it was, they wanted to try with sustenance, right? They wanted to make sure they could survive the initial onslaught, but they couldn't do it. That first red buff engagement, I mean, we were talking about it, it was so heart-wrenching to watch, because you knew from that point, it was just LGD train.
And I'm gonna just jump in there, man, for something, because you cannot just expect that you do not have a composition that is gonna have the advantage on the early game, invade, get the red, and then instead of just running away with your life, you're turning back just to kind of just go and take the battle. Dude, like, you end up in a 0-3 trade in the first minute of the game when you're already 0-1 down.
Yes.
What's going on with them guys?
I feel like LGD did a really good job, LGD Gaming, using Pei as a last pick. Really surprising pick for me. And I feel like versus Ogron, I feel like they got similar clearing jungle rate, but Pei is a little bit faster. Pei, this hero, clean the jungle like it's nothing. And he still have time to go back to his red area and clean his jungle too. At the same time, getting that 3-0
right
in the
here,
early game. Super, super crazy. It was a slaughter from the very beginning.
Danny already got the buff, man. Like, just turn back and they just go to turret. And that's it. Like, you don't need to get the fight in there. But then you just kind of like turn things around and it's just completely against you.
Yep, and I hate to say this, but you know, there's not just the damage across the board from the game. Emotionally, mentally, how they deal with this? They did not manage to take it. I mean, okay, LGD protected their base, no turrets were taken, no deaths were given, and they took a really greedy draft, right? Level 1, we expect the Pei to invade.
Of
and
course.
you already know it's coming,
Yes.
but it still happened. Now, you're in a 2-0 situation. LGD Gaming full of confidence. How are you going to go up against that?
Read the game, man. I believe that they need to read the game a little bit better. Seems like that first punch from losing the first game hit them so badly that they're still dizzy from that jab, man. because this second game, it's not the VKS that we are used to watch.
Yeah, I feel like VK, if they got that first win, they would have been doing a lot better. But the second round, their mentality is a little bit low right now. But compared to LGD Gaming, they're on a roll. They're thriving right now with this composition and have 0 death in this game. Definitely they can have more confidence moving on to the game point match as here in the next match.
Yeah, VK has a lot of problems to fix. LGD on the cusp of victory. One more step and it's grand final slot for them, boys.
Yeah, man, LGD Gaming really just right now just taking the victory and right now pushing it into a 2-0. This is going to be their match point in the next one. The MVP for this game is going to be the one and only Tre on that Tranfei. 309. Tre has been just collecting those MVPs. Like, since day one up until right now, how many can we count, man? Like, it's been so many of them.
I feel like 2 or 3. I feel like he played the Limpo very well. Also, he played this Janfei very well. Great engagement. You can see a lot of time he's in the front line, taking the damage. Also, like, he's not really playing as a support. He's just charging there, and Janfei has that knockup, has that damage, even getting the double kill right here in the red area.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should do, right? So if you're taking a aggressive jungler with a double smite strategy, the one thing you want to do is let's invade. And at this point, it was just crazy because there was so much damage already coming from their jungler. But hey, suddenly you have a beast that's unleashed upon you in the form of Tre, and I don't know how you deal with that.
Congratulations to Tre on that MVP, man. Like, he can just take that one and just kind of start just piling them up as this. If he makes it to the final, and I'm not just kind of jinxing anything, if they make it to the final, Tre is going to be one of those keys just for them to actually have an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like LGD this match, they're in the zone right now. The momentum is going really, really strong for them, for LGD Gaming. I feel like Vivo Keystar definitely have to go back to the drawing board. Talk it over. I feel like they need to get this last point in order to have some kind of, miracle happen for them.
Yeah, maybe pick their fights a little more wisely. I really, really need to emphasize that level 1 fight at the red buff. Like you said, they should have taken it, ran away with the buff, and try and prolong the game because you wanted the sustenance. It did not come because LGD were just too fast, too furious.
Learning, man. That we have been talking about that. That L is not for losing, that L is for learning. And if everybody wants to learn from the pros are right over here to share with you some tips.
You want to be strong? Learn from the pro now. When you're attacking a tower, you might accidentally target an enemy. Or when attempting a tower dive, you end up targeting the tower and minions instead. Professional players execute such impressive moves effortlessly. While you may feel overwhelmed and get killed by the tower, your control settings might be holding you back. Change the recommended basic controls to advanced. This activates extra basic attack buttons for minions and towers. Turn on Show Enemy Avatars to accurately select the enemy's avatar for the kill, and better assess vision exposure. Give it a try and play as smoothly as a pro, easily crushing the enemy faction. Learn from the pro. Learn more from Honor of Kings Global Esports.
Boys, when I just started learning the game, I remember I used to make that mistake. Just not understanding how the settings in the game actually work, just literally just slowed me down a lot at the beginning.
Yep, definitely. Something that I think once you are new to MOBA and you learn this kind of settings for yourself, it really changes your game by that much. Really, it does.
Exactly. In the beginning, I didn't even change it. I was just smashing the auto attack.
Right?
Like, I didn't even know there's an attack button for the towers and another attack just for the minions. So that's gonna be a really great tip to do. I'm gonna go do it right now after I get home.
Well, right now we gotta just talk seriously about this game, man. Like, because VKS, we know that they are a momentum team.
Yeah.
The moment that they just get the momentum, no one can stop them. Like yesterday, we just saw that. They get the momentum, and they're just that big stage team. They need to be on the big stage for them to really show us what they're made of. The momentum is not on their side. What is going to be key for them to turn the tide around?
The ultimate lesson I've learned in all of competition is almost is never enough, right? If you want to go for the victory, finish it, clean it, and you will be able to get it. So at this point, VKS, hey, we could see a reverse sweep, not saying anything much, but yeah, it is possible, right? So you just need to be in that mental state, look at what the win conditions are, and go for it.
Definitely. I feel like VKS do have a chance to bounce back. They need to stay together on this one. I feel like, going to this match, think of something outside the box, definitely. For LGD, however, gaming, they're still looking really, really strong. They have a really extensive hero pool right now. I'm still, they have a lot of trick up their sleeve. So I'm looking forward to the third match here.
Yeah,
I think that the hero pool is just going to come down to that, right? Like, we've been talking a lot about the players. We've been talking a lot about the heroes. What are some options in there for VKS in terms of hero choices that would allow them just to kind of like turn things again?
I think it depends on what kind of strategy they want to go with. So we've already seen the early aggression, right? Let's pick the pace. Someone who is going to invade your jungle, get the advantage from there. That could be something that VKS would want to try, but it's a high risk, high reward kind of strategy. So I'm not sure whether that's up to their palate at this point. Get what kind of strategy would you prefer? Would you like the aggression, the early invade, or let's
I'm
face it.
feeling LGD Gaming are going super fast. I feel like they're going super more aggressive. I feel like next match, they're going to go with the more aggressive. Every single time. They're going to pick up the pace every single time.
How do you go more aggressive?
But I feel like, this time they maybe want to slow down for a bit because VKs might have something different for them in the next map.
I mean, okay, it was a 17-0 scoreline. No turrets taken. No deaths, and they pretty much took every single buff, if I'm not wrong, right? The jungle was not for Danny's entry at all.
Yes, exactly. I feel like Danny definitely has to pull something together with Miap because they're a powerhouse combo here. So maybe focus on the top lane, maybe do some target bans on the top lane of LGD Gaming and have some kind of like a teamwork in the very beginning, like focus on their top lane priority more. Maybe that's an option for VKS.
Yep. To complement that, I think we have not seen the Sun Bin come out from the side of Mena, right? He was very, very premium and optimal with the usage of his ultimate, the time-lapse as well. I think that could be something that they could go for instead of being respectful and say, hey, let me try and tank the damage, just go blow for blow, right? Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, definitely. Champions are going to be a prominent pick as well, also with Yuhuan, and they can use it as a great sustainability combo. So yeah, that champion is out there, and I'm just wishing they can just really use it to this maximum potential in this next third match here.
Yeah, but I cannot imagine the stress that you're going through, right? If you're in a decider match, this is the last potential game you get to play as VKS, right? And now you have to claw your way back up against LGD Gaming. I don't know how I would be feeling if I was from VKS.
You know, man, like LGD Gaming right now, they've got the upper hand, that's for sure. They just need to do that last push just to send VKS back home. What about if we learn a little bit more about LGD Gaming in this profile that we got for you?
感觉这里非常棒，这是我人生第一次来到这种国际赛事，就很兴奋，很开心。我家对抗路是香 ，He is the Clash lane. Our mid lane is Jihong. Farm lane is Zhao. Support is 这。我觉得我的团队会赢，因为梦还是要有的。 万一实现，我们就平常心打就好了，不要紧张。这赢得了这比赛，对我们所有人都是人生中很大的意义。谢谢你们，我们会尽全力拿下冠军的。
LGD Gaming, they've got a dream, man, and that dream is just to end up being the champions. That first step before thinking about becoming a champion is just winning this last game against VKS.
Yeah, before we dive right in, I want to know whether this is an L or number 7, right? 7th heaven or...
I feel like L for learning, as Isaac said. Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
And let's keep learning a little bit more about the game, man, as we're going to move into the Amazon Arena one more time for Game 3 of this matchup.
How's it going, everybody? We are on Arena for some more learning, some more lessons, and as Kim was going on about something about the number 7. So, anyway, we are back into the map number 3, and VKS really need to do something here, Stu, to try and take a victory over LGD Gaming.
Yeah, I feel like for VKS, they're going to have to bring out their pocket picks in this one. As Kin was saying, it's pretty much do or die for them now. They have to win this game to stay in the tournament. And one pick I actually wanted to highlight is a pick that we've already seen from them, Jiang Yu, from the app in the top side. Picks like this is something that can catch LGD Gaming off guard and could be crucial for VKS to try and come back in this series.
Yeah, it's something that they're very comfortable with. I mean, we saw Niap on the likes of the Guan Yu as well, which we saw that the KPL Dream Team brought out yesterday. But again, I feel like that's more of a power move, whereas you kind of have to be in control of that map 3. But we are into the draft now, and this is where all our questions will be answered. So the Chow and the Orgren being banned for the VKS, and then over to the side of LGD Gaming, they are target banning that Masashi for Danny and also the Ali.
I feel like VKS are definitely struggling with the drafts. You know, every single game they have banned out the Chao. In game number 1, they banned out the Mai, it didn't work. In game number 2, they banned out the Dolia, picked the Orgren, it didn't work. Let's see if game number 3 is going to be better for them with banning out the Orgren. They first picked the Dolia again, but then they give Mai over to Ji Hong, you know, being able to pick his most played hero, but gonna be responded by the Shangguan.
So Shangguan and Haino coming through for VKS. We know that Danny loves the Haino in the jungle, and then Juan on the Shangguan is crazy. But another thing that I really want to try and understand here is VKS always go blue side. They always want that priority first pick. Whereas I've been seeing throughout the most of the competition, that red side, be able to lock in your first 2 picks after that first prior one is pretty strong. And then you can follow it on to something like the Titan pick, like the Zhang Fei.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I feel like in general, you can get so many of these picks on the red side, you know, being able to pick 2 instead of 1. Yes, you get the first pick, but I think I would rather trade Dolia for Mai and Long in the end as well, you know, being able to trade 2 for 1. But I think this might be the first time I've ever casted Honor of Kings, and we're getting an assassin versus an assassin in the mid lane. We very rarely see this matchup in the mid lane, and these are two of the teams that have the most kills in this tournament as well. You know, you think of like kills per match, it's absolutely crazy between these 2 teams.
Yes, I did say about the Guan Yu, but it's on the other side of the draft. Hello, can we get that shifted, please? No, it is definitely going over to LGD Gaming. They are going for such an aggressive team comp here with the Mai Shiranui, with the Guan Yu, and then we saw Jia on that Zhang Fei last game, which was just absolutely phenomenal. But looking at those last 2 bans on the side of LGD Gaming, they are going for Seisa's Pool, the Lady Sun, and the Ho Yi. And then over to the side of VKS, we have the Mayin finally taken off the board, and then the Elaine.
Yeah, I mean, Seisa has to go all the way down to the Marco Polo, so I thought it was actually going to be the Durenji, because a lot of players have defaulted back to the Durenji once the likes of the Ali and the Long are off the board, but this might be one of the first times we've seen Marco Polo as well. We know that it could be a super aggressive in the farm lane. You can go in with the ultimate, spin twin, do a bunch of damage, but Musang King on Luna. My God, this LGD Gaming team looks scary. If I was playing against LGD right now, gaming, like, all I'm seeing is just aggression.
Yeah.
Guan Yu wants to go in. Luna dashing in. Zhang Fei dashing in. Mai Shiranui dashing in. Where's the safety net here for VKS? How do VKS survive against this composition?
There's none. I mean, if you look over to the side of VKS, you may be able to get the Dharma to try and push them into a direction that isn't going to be onto the likes of either the Shangguan or the Marco Polo. But then you've got Danny on that real comfort pick for the Haino as well. So I can imagine, yes, it's super aggressive on the side of LGD Gaming. I can only hope VKS are prepared for this because, like you were saying, Stu, there's so much dashes. There's the knockups. There's the push away from Mai Shiranui. And then if we're going to see what we've been seeing for the past 2 maps and VKS don't get any dominance on that map, that those Azure Golems are going to all go over to Luna. We know how dependent that hero is on that Sage Golem pick. But already right now, we're seeing the Mai Shiranui being super aggressive.
Yeah, I felt like VKS have picked this squad to try and kind of counteract the aggression from LGD Gaming, because we know LGD Gaming has been super aggressive with trying to invade, trying to get as many resources away from VKS as possible. But the likes of the Shangguan could do really, really well. Hino could do really well as just being that body block for VKS, allowing the likes of Dharma and also the Shangguan to dive in. We know that with this jungle Hino, he is going to go for a tank build.
Yes, it would be a detriment to the team if he didn't go for a tank build, because there's nobody else that's going to be able to tank that damage. But Guan Yu, Luna, and Mai already on that top side of the map looking to cook something up here. They were trying to take the Azure Golem buff away from Danny, but they were unable to get there. He kind of farmed it very quickly. But this Guan Yu and Luna combo going up to rotate to the Dharma is very troublesome.
No invades right now from either side. Musang King looking to try and invade a little bit early on. I feel like the lockdown in general is not that great for VKS. I feel like with so much mobility for the likes of the Luna, the Mai Shiranui as well, there's not that much lockdown for VKS. They don't have anyone that can really shut them down. You know, the likes of Danny and Juan on the Shangguan and Hino. Yes, you can jump in and try and do a lot of burst damage. Yes, you can tank a lot. But the only real crowd control they have is on that Dharma, so they're really relying on Niap this game to get, as you mentioned before, Bam, with the crucial ultimates, being able to push some players on the side of LGD Gaming up against the wall.
Yeah, I want to just get back to Get's point as well, is that we would thought at this point in the game that we're going to get a bit more of a synergy by Niap and Danny, but oh, here we go. One gets first blooded onto LGD Zhong there. So again, just LGD Gaming always bringing the first blood of all these 3 games so far, Stu. It is so aggressive, and we expected nothing less from this Mai Shiranui pick.
Shangguan couldn't do anything there, unfortunately, just proving how Mai is so powerful, so much mobility, the knock-up, the pushback as well with the ultimate, even using the flash in the end as well to get that extra bit of mobility. Niap, actually on the wrong side of the map there for a second, also has to flash it away in the end as well. So again, LGD Gaming, this is not as aggressive as what we've seen from them in the first 2 games, but still, in terms of the lanes, in terms of the solo kills, Jin Hong on this Mai pick, he picked it 2 times in the quarterfinals.
Yes.
And was completely dominating. Giving that over to LGD Gaming, I feel like it's just such a bad decision, in my opinion, for VKS in terms of drafts.
It's kind of what happens, though, when you get that red side, right? For 3 games in a row, you can just get those 2 top picks that you want to go for. Here we are, Musang King. Oh, okay. We're going to kill on to Siang. We'd get that Guan Yu bully go down. It is going to be 2 kills over to VKS. This is exactly what we were hoping for. A little bit more love between the teammates, but no, there goes the shatterer of love. It is Mai Shiranui just kicking Dharma out of that safety net under that T1 turret in the clash lane.
Is he going to go in here? He's waiting. Is he going to recall? Is he going to go in? He's just going to I thought for a split second that he was going to limit test and he was actually going to go in even more there. But yeah, the setup play from Niap, you know, Niap and also One do an incredible job as a duo there, being able to get that kill into the top side. It was traded back in the end, but now we're going to try and see who's going to be able to take this big, massive Tyrants.
Yes, Tyrant battle is going on right now. Danny is already looking pretty chunky with that health as well, and they're trying to just whittle him down just before that Tyrant gets the crucial point. But there we go. We see Siang come through as well, just pushing them all around. Double kill. Triple kill. Is there going to be a quaddy on there? It's not looking like it, as we do see that VKS, Danny, and Niap are pretty safe from that quad kill from LGD Gaming, but Tyrant and a quad, damn.
Siang there with the perfect flank. The members of VKS were just completely caught off guard. You can see how much Guan Yu can rotate, be able to get onto the back line. That flank as well, the push potential as well. As we take a look at the replay, look at the bottom side of your screens. Guan Yu just waiting for the right moment. You can see just waiting for the next auto attack, being able to push the members of VKS into LGD Gaming means that it's so difficult for them to try and escape. Incredible work there from Siang. You was mentioning how Guan Yu is a pick that they've been picking in Brazil region quite a lot, but now it's actually LGD Gaming that are just like, hey, we can also play the Guan Yu as well as you.
Yes, and they're playing it pretty beautifully here. Here we go. Once more, Danny getting bullied here. But we could get that Fate Rewind come through. It does save Danny, but is it going to save Niap? Oh, Niap taking down Xiong. And here we are. The final stroke. Is that going to be enough for Zhang Fei to be taken down? He is still tanky as ever. Danny is just not going to be able to commit to that one because we do see the lung comes through as well, hoping to clean up some of VKS, but it wasn't quite working the way they wanted to. But this could be the leg in a little bit too far away for the Shangguan.
Yeah, we know how strong this Dolia-Shangguan combo can be. Dolia giving the double reset over to Shangguan with the extra mobility that she can get. The untargetable ultimate as well being so huge. But you can see at the moment, right, we look at the gold difference at the bottom right now. One only has 2,500 gold, has less gold than the supports over on LGD Gaming. And this is an assassin in the mid lane. We know that these assassins, they need the gold. You know, we know that VKS like to put all their gold on their farm laner, but we need Shangguan to get a little bit more gold, but they're really struggling to balance this gold at the moment for the side of VKS.
Yeah, I mean, she needs to buy a paint, she needs to buy a paint brushes, she needs that resources to do the damage as well for buying those magic damage items, as we saw there, a little bit too premature with the final stroke onto one of the teammates of LGD Gaming, so wasn't able to actually quite get up to that standard there. But here we are, we see that Zhe and Musang King going in onto one, punishing him and Maina with the double kill from overstepping, and this is the Guan Yu bully that we know. It's kind of like, you want to go back to your base? Denied. You want to go back to your base? Denied. It's just, again, just trying to turn down Danny, but he's able to faith recall there, but it's not quite going to be enough. He doesn't have that double ultimate. Dolia is
so much healing.
And he's still sustaining all that damage from the LGD Gaming crew. It is still in it. What is going on?
He just took so much damage in that exchange. There were 4 players on top of Danny there, and it took them so long, but finally he was able to be taken down there as well. But you could just see the power of this high note pick, how it can be so annoying to play against. But as you mentioned, Xiang on this Guan Yu, such a power pick in this game. I feel like Xiang in general in this series has been a standout player. Main in the first game, Guan Yu in the third game as well, sorry. Just being able to go around, go for the flank, push the members of VKS into their squad, and it allows this follow-up because there's so much crowd control and there's so much AoE damage here on the side of LGD with the Luna and the Mai.
Yeah, and we're just seeing typical LGD Gaming just be able to push them into their own corner.
They can
just absolutely negate everything and dictate all the direction of where they want this fight to go. That is already a 2-0 trade for Musang King and the LGD Gaming team. They are down by 1 member. It is only Shangguan alive. They take the T2 in that mid lane as well. We honestly thought that they were going to try and give them a little bit of a leeway there, and we honestly thought we saw it with VKS Danny getting that high new pick, but it's just not the case, Stu. Higher ground turrets falling in the farm lane, falling in that mid lane. This is pure aggression.
Really strong here from LGD Gaming. They know the right way to engage. They know the timing. They know the aggression that they can bring out as well. Again, we've seen that early level 1 aggression early on in the previous games in this series, but this is very well thought out. This is them knowing their composition, where they need to wait for Xiang to join the fights. They need to wait for Zhang Fei to join the fights, and the likes of Musang King, the likes of Jinhong can actually clean up as well. Shut down again, though, for Niap. Niap is getting a few plays here in this top side, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's enough for now.
Yeah, a few plays isn't quite going to be enough there, but here we are again, just seeing the dominance from Musang King once more, and then Maisha, just coming from the back there. There's just so much jumping. There's a double kill onto VKS that we missed there. JR actually showing some claim to his name, and a triple kill as well. Could we get that quad that was denied earlier from VKS? Maina already pretty low. We have 2 pretty stacked minion waves coming down in the mid lane and the farm lane. The Fate Rewind comes through onto the Hino. Maina is going to be here with Shangguan trying to just deny the crystal takedown. Shangguan goes down. LGD Gaming are at the crystal, and here are your first finalists into into the grand final. LGD Gaming with a brutal 3-0 against VKS.
A flawless run for LGD Gaming. Into the grand finals they go later on today, and they will face either the KPL Dream Team or AG.